What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more Combined Arms content. Carrying on with part 5 of Combined Arms in review. We have my matches versus Inno here. If you thought the 3-week gap between, who was it, Kato and Ups was long, we'll try 6 weeks between Inno and I. Part of it was just we were both busy, part of it we both just got constantly sick, and then part of it was just we were waiting for the losers back to catch up a little bit since we had a lot of leeway there. We're here. I got Traveler 59 on Titan VIP. This was the automatically picked map for semifinals. So it's time to do the scrim build that I know, which is get to that tier 2, pump out 2 Raxes, and then just spam those intruders and ravagers. Maybe check up to tier 3 if the game goes that long, but really you only go to tier 3 for some masterminds. Maybe a tripod if you really need some heavy tanking power, and then I really never got a chance to use obliterators, but I really wanted to use them. I feel like they would be a decent option. So the loyalist for the support powers, and then the obliterator. Rebel, the wormhole seems like it's good. You get a few good units out of it, but like it's just not anything near what Overlord's Wrath is, in my opinion. So yeah, we're up here. I know that having watched Inno play, like some other people, especially like Stormberg, he loves his grenadiers, so I made sure to keep 2 warriors back there by my fire plant. Don't want to get caught there, and you can already see that I kind of screwed up my build, so I was not necessarily nervous going into this game, but it's just I feel like I hadn't played in a long time, or at least practiced well, because I had been playing a little bit, but team games are usually just bad practice in my opinion. You don't really get good mechanics out of them, and they just kind of teach you bad habits, and they can just kind of be weird. You know, you don't know necessarily how good your team's going to be next to it, but running into one as Ref just got there, and I'm trying to scout his base, so I don't really want to lose that warrior, so I just try to rally him around. And again, just make sure he's not doing like super early MC move out, so I want to check that first expansion. Also, always got to kill Tanya, because, you know, she is what she is. She's free money. She's free real estate. But got more factory out now. Just I want to do some light harass on Inno too, so I'm going to build a Gunwalker, see if I can catch some of his infantry, and then I'm going to come back with another Lacerator just to see if I can. You can see there I'm actually building another Rax instead of a Ref, so that kind of sucks, but, you know, it's going to slow me down. I'll have to deal with it when it comes to it, when I realize it, but right now I'm realizing, oh yeah, I'm not building a Ref. So let's get that going. Doing Wood Factory first, so being even slower on that second Ref is definitely going to hurt. We really need those Harvesters up quickly. So that kind of forces me to not build a second Lacerator too. And then I'll have to build a third Ref just so I can kind of keep up, but it's alright. I think it'll work out, you know. It's just going to be a little bit slow down. I'll have to deal with it. Just want to make sure Harvester's on that nice juicy part of the tip too, since I feel like the tip on this map tends to dry up real quickly. You can kind of quickly harvest everything, so he's poking in here. I feel like he should have a Ref here, and I'm just kind of leaving that Rastery there, but it's actually not there yet, so it's a little surprising. So I go in and I see a fire plant, and I go, alright, might as well kill it. And I see some infantry too, and I see them start moving, so it's time to go in with Gunwalker. If I can catch him in moving, that'll be great. Really just looking for those rockets more than the rifles, although the rifles are much more lethal to this composition, but not really much I can do there. He's just kind of sitting in his base. I'm not going to try to overly harass him with this last raid and lose him. I'd rather just keep him pinned down, keep scouting him, make sure I got some good stuff. Just decided to see if he's gone for the build Derek, and since I have this vehicle support, I probably should be able to take it if he has not. And then, yeah, now that the third ref's down, time to move out. See, he's got 2 rifles there, but the old Derek is not taken, so I should be able to take that pretty easily. He's not going to want to try to go in with that. Move those warriors too, which is a little bit scary because I'm, you know, still expecting those grenadiers, but get that 4th out, get that nerf center going, power plant, and then double racks, and then I should be well on my way. I'm already starting to spam out my Gunwalker, so it's nice to have all those extra armor. Same time, just send that Lacerator into his expansion because he's probably there, and then I barely see those grenadiers coming by. I got super lucky that, you know, there's just enough space behind your refineries and harvesters that you can kind of see the edge of the map. So hunt him down with the Gunwalker. Get lucky that the Gunwalker doesn't even take damage, since I learned against, who was it? Ada's Toro, that Grenadiers do a ton of light armor damage, so getting that loyalist faction, because I'm a Skrin loyalist. I'm not a Jarkill, not a xenophobe. See that he still hasn't expanded yet, but he's got an army there, so it's alright. You know, I'll poke at this BTR if I can, but I really don't want to take a bunch of damage since BTRs are pretty good light, so just gonna run away for now. Again, just trying not to waste my units when I can. Got my elite warrior, just got it on the other side, and send another warrior up to the top just in case he's gonna do something. He's Soviet, so he doesn't really have that light harass, but he does have like some BTR drops, which, you know, there's always a chance that he's gonna go back to it. Then after I stabilize my economy and I'm starting to float, I go back into a few more lacerators, and that's just so I can do some eco harass while I'm kind of deathballing, since really what I want to do is kill an army with this, and then I can just kind of roll it over there. Although honestly, this screen thing is not weak against anything. Also got the Traveler 59, so I can get that advanced articulator, so makes my infantry a little bit faster. But he's gonna go in there and kill my artillery or my oil, and I hear that he had a Katusha, so I'm gonna try to hunt down that artillery. Lacerator's incidentally really great at killing Katushas, so I get that one out pretty much scot-free. And then it's Inno, so he's gonna get his helicopters, which unfortunately for him, building helicopters against this composition, building air against this composition from any faction is just, it's pretty much wasted assets. There's not much you can do. The gunwalkers are such good anti-air, and I'm gonna have a ton of them, so the only thing he could do is try to harass like backline stuff, but again, Hines aren't going to deal with harvesters very well due to the AA debuff, so you can't really kill a lot of buildings with Hines either. They're more just anti-rockets and a little bit of anti-tank, so he's just kind of behind on that ball, which sucks for him, but I guess that's kind of what he gets. And here I go, I catch his army in a really good position. All of his tanks are on the bottom, all my armor's on the top, and his tank goes down shortly. And you can just see how quickly those Hines go down. They just did not do much at all. Target that Katusha, and that's pretty much all his army. One of those last raiders got caught up on an infantry and almost dies. That kind of sucks, but I'm gonna go back in and poke at that harvester one more time. That should be enough to kill it. There we go. Ended up losing two lacerators to it because of some bad micro there, but no, keeping them alive earlier, not getting them damaged, definitely helped there. And now I'm already up to tier 3. I'm floating about 6k, which is crazy. I could probably go into another racks right now if I really wanted to, but I'm just, I know I got the pressure on him. I got this one lacerator just still being annoying. He's already down one harvester. He's down a huge amount of army. So he's just in a really vulnerable spot right now. Since he moved his MCV out, I feel like it's safe to attack his main rather than go for his expansion. And I see he has a bunch of infantry up there anyway, so get that mastermind out, because the masterminds are always good. You definitely want them. They are super overpowered. And like, you can just see how tanky my infantry is. That flame tower's barely killed a 5-stack and it had like 3 or 4 shots, so Skrin infantry, man, it's pretty strong. I'm just pushing in here because he's got not a whole lot of infantry at all. I think what little he does have is still in the north, and he goes ahead and calls GG. So that's a quick 740 game, which is pretty much what happened the first time I played him, but this time it was me coming on top. So got lucky there, and this is a best of 5 series, so we got at a minimum 2 more games. Alright, so we're back here for game 2. We are on Nomad once again, so he picked this twice against me. I didn't really pick Titan VIP twice against him, but it just happened to work out that was first map both times. And I am the Yuri faction. I am Psycor, so I am hoping to get some Brutes out, get some Yuri out, get that Chaos Bomber, return the favor that he did to me last time on this map. But I'm going to go for a War Factory first build on this map, because I feel like it's pretty good. You can kind of get away with just going with the War Factory first. There's not a whole lot of pressure you can exert on your opponent. Just depends on what their faction is going to get, so just you know, taking a look at the map right now, just doing what you do in the early game, I guess. Gonna put this ref on the left, obviously, try to market that harvester a little bit, then probably just send 1 or 2 rifles out first before my engineer, just so it doesn't get eaten by a dog or anything like that. Yeah, I'm actually doing a crazy War Factory first builder, so I'm going for a true War Factory first and then into Iraqs. So that'll help give me some little extra money while I'm going to be on harvesters for a little bit, because really what I want to do here is pump out a few BTRs and then just kill a bunch of infantry since they're super good at that. And then that should like even out me just not having the oil derricks as quickly, not having any infantry presence, being a little bit slower on my eco. But it only will work if I kill a bunch of like stuff. I have to kill the equivalent of, it's about 23k or 23,000, 2300. There we go, 2300 in value. So it's basically like 30 BRs worth, since they are 675. So it's like a little bit more than them, but yeah, if I can kill that much, which, you know, 2300 is what, like 4 rifles, that's 1200, and then just 10 rifles after that. So 4 rockets, 10 rifles is not a whole lot to kill, or not that hard to kill either. That, you know, that's basically your early army that you're gonna get, or half your early army. So War Factory's out, getting those BTRs out, put out those few rifles, send one back just in case he's gonna grid rush me again, and send my engineers out. Get lucky here too that I instantly kill a scout, so that makes me feel a little bit more confident. I wish that I checked his faction there, and I was kind of like mad at myself for not at least highlighting it so I knew what he was, but I missed it again on that rifle, but that's okay. So I got to my 2 BTRs out, and I'm just, you know, scouting to make sure there's no rifles there, especially since there was one in the north. We're going to pull that engineer back just slightly, just to make sure, because there's a good chance that that is going to be camped by another rifle. And what do you know, it was, so good job there by me. Unfortunately, I'm stalling just a little bit, which is not great, especially with War Factory's first build. It's just going to hurt you so much more. Finally got my second ref out, so I should start to be stabilizing on eco. Getting these 2 oil there is going to start stabilizing my eco as soon as that engineer caps as well. So going for, again, a 3rd ref rather than just building a 3rd harvester, because I'm getting these 2 I'm getting these extra light vehicles out. I'm going for the 4th BTR here. I think 3 BTRs is a little bit better. 4 is probably a little bit too much. Probably would have done a little bit better that way, but decide that I'm just going to decap one of his old Erics right now because I'm kind of behind the ball, and you can kind of see that I did not queue my engineer to go into that oil Eric, and that's probably hurting me as well. So yeah, this second game is not going out super well for me. This build order is just kind of failing hard in my face. Yeah, this is like what, the 10 seconds there that I was just completely stalled. Oh, there gave me a measly 100. So this is not a strong start. Finally realized that I did not have the engineer, and you know that's making a big difference as well. So that's basically $400 just sitting there. Sell that ref so it's nice and closer, so that's nice. And now I can finally start poking out some infantry since I have 300. So he's got 1 rifle scout there, that's no problem. I should be able to totally get this oil Derek. There's not much he can do about it. You know, if he really wants to push right now, I'll gladly engage into his infantry there. I doubt he has a whole lot of vehicles. But now that I take that, maybe I can catch his infantry on the move or anything like that. And then, of course, he's not. So, biker ass. Luckily, I got some units out here, but man, that harvester is getting pretty low already. He's trying really hard. Both those bikes barely get away, which is unfortunate for me. So that harvester is super dead. There's not much I can do about it. Got my radar up, which is nice, and I'm going into the War Factory, and I think that is also a mistake here. There's just not enough eco. You can see I'm already mostly mined out my main patch. This backline harvester, if it dies, then you know, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble too. Got my defense ready. I'm going to have to replace it too, because again, I'm worried about those bikes. They could be on either side. He could just be mass biking me. There's not much I could do. But as a result, I didn't do anything with my BTR, so that's been a waste. I decapped his oil there, and then he just recapped it, so that's a waste. So nothing in this game is going my way so far, and you know, it's just kind of outplaying me. The only thing I got going for me is I got that tier 2, although it's kind of paused right now. Although I guess the mutation bomb is not tied to radar, just tied to tier or something like that. But maybe it's tied to your doctrine, but I don't think I've actually picked a doctrine yet. I'm not sure, but hey, I finally get some brutes. So brutes are good. I'm gonna start pumping those out, and then cancel that ref or that defense because I don't really need it. See that is indeed expanding the way you expect it to. That's fine because I'm about to pressure him a little bit. I run into a light tank there. It's not great for my BTRs, but I do have a heavy tank, so that's okay. And now I'm up to 2 war factories, so time to move out. Probably should have been done it before the war factory because my eco is definitely going to hurt in just a minute here, especially if I don't get any good kills. But, you know, supporting that MC with a little bit, and there comes the bikes in the bottom. Luckily, I have some rifles there, so they get pushed back. Fortunately for me, I'm just a little bit out of position here. I'm trying to circle around on those BTRs, maybe see if I can get that artillery. They get a nice little flank on some rifles there, but he just has way more mass than I do. So this is not going to go my way. Got 1 artillery. I'm going to get the 2nd artillery, but I think I traded much worse than he did. I'm sure he's happy to take that trade. Top of that, I'm just now getting my expansion. He's definitely probably established there. And worst of all, a light tank comes in. Flame tower and the rifles are not going to do anything to that, and that harvester is toast. So now I'm on 4 harvesters on a completely dead patch, trying to pump out of 5 different build queues. So it's not going good. I can't even power up my radar since I'm low power if I do that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to transfer these harvesters over, but again, I'm just completely stalling. So this is really rough for me. I'm trying to return the favor at least, you know, get that heavy tank on a harvester hunt, but I feel like if he attacks me right now, I don't think I have much to do. It's gonna be really hard to defend here, especially if he attacks my expansion and I'm prepping for the attack on the main here. But I do get a little lucky. He attacks like in the worst spot, and those light tanks are pretty low. Flame tower gets some good shots on the infantry. Get a bunch of rockets at the second burst, so he's gonna attack here, but I really don't have too much. I have some fruits and I have some 4 heavy tanks, but luckily heavy tanks are pretty beefy and combined arms, and then they kind of get out of position a little bit. Get that ref established, which is nice. Then harvester will start going, but get a nice little cleanup on his army. I'm kind of ignoring that heavy tank up top. Then I see that he's there, and I go ahead and GG, because yeah, I was pretty dead. Look at the eco graph and everything after the game. It was pretty stark, and just all that stalling that I did was pretty bad. So bad build order failure, and then, you know, perfectly capitalizing with some eco harass who's just crippling me there. So that's it for game 2, and we'll roll on to game 3. Alright, so we're back here for game 3. It's 1-1 apiece right now, which is, you know, pretty good so far. I picked Marigold as my map this time. I feel like it's somewhat of an easy map to play, but it can be a little bit of a trap. You have to like have really good timing on your eco expansions. You don't want to get stuck in that top left corner for too long, and you don't want to cede control of the middle too quickly. So I got screen again, which is great. So I'm just gonna do the normal screen build that I've been doing. It seemed to work out really well against Inno last time, and I think that's just again because he doesn't realize that you can't build helicopters against it. So get that engineer out, do a little light pressure on him, and then I'm actually going to be bold this time and go for the middle. Not something I normally do, but again, I'm screened, so I'm going to want those specs. That extra oil there is nice too, so just if I can do that, that'll be great. If I can kill his oil derrick, that'll be great as well. Make sure to place my power plant back so I can get a better build closer to the TIB, because it works out a little bit better in the end. And then just the normal double ref build. See that he's kind of doing the same thing I'm thinking of and pushing that middle, but yeah, just kills the barrels and retreats, so I'm okay with that. So I'll just go up, push on him now, catch a few of his rifles. So we split 1 apiece now, so that's great, but I got a little bit more of a death ball, and his is a little bit more spread out, so he's going to lose 3 rifles to my 1, and I'll take that any day. 3 to 1's always a good trade. But just judging where his rifles were, I figured he's not in the middle there, so I'm going to go rally down by the oil derrick, and if he did try to be cheeky and sneak an engineer there, then at the very minimum I'll be able to kill that oil derrick off. But it looks like it's not capped, so that's good for me. So I'll go ahead and get that engineer in real quick, get that free $300 rebate. Makes that engineer a lot more cost efficient. And throw out some few rifles, just to escort that engineer. Don't want to get caught by a random one there, it's totally possible. Even make sure to rally my engineer to the top of that gate, because engineers love just doing something that you would not expect the Pathfinder to do. But since I got my second ref out, I'm able to pump out a little bit more infantry. Don't really need too many like anti-armors yet with disintegrators, and Inno pushes in pretty hard here, but I've got a decent number, so I'm not super worried. I feel like we're trading pretty evenly. As long as I can cap that oil derrick, I'll be fine, but my reinforcements come in, and I get a pretty good sweep there. Get 2 medics, get 1 more rifle. Yeah, so at the very end, I think I traded a little bit better. So I'm gonna get a harvester out, get some more seeker harass again, because that worked out well with the last Virtus last time, and then pump out a bunch of gunwalkers. It's just I took that engagement early, and I got some wounded warriors, you know. Figure catch them in the hospital early, get that medic already pumping is already good. Yeah, I'm doing alright now. Thinking about doing a nerve center first, just so I can get that advanced infantry coming out a little quicker, rather than moving and getting eco. I should have plenty of eco between the 2 oil derricks and, you know, 4 harvesters on 2 different tip fields. Both those harvesters come out just so that ref comes down, so that's nice. Seekers are coming out. So again, these seekers I don't expect them to do too much. They're just really to be an annoyance. It's just kind of splitting your APM and attention between getting harassed and something like that. So it's kind of basically what he did with the 2 bikes last time. Like, even just pulling that harvester off, or like in his case doing a bunch of damage to the harvester, is well worth 2 bikes. Definitely threw him off my game last time, so just tit for tat again. You know, I like what he did, so I'm going to do it back to him, or at least try. You never know. Inno's a strong player, so there's a chance that he's totally ready for it. But got those 2 Seekers out, and somehow, I don't know how, they did not get selected there. So that 1 Seeker gets stuck behind. Unfortunate there, but hey, got my Nerf Center out, so get those Ravagers and Intruders pumped out. Cancel those other HQs, don't want them to accidentally build. And then I was like, hey, oh yeah, where's my other Seeker? It's not there, but it's fine. I'll just delay that a little bit. I mean, he shouldn't have a Harvester there unless he's moved out before the Nerf Center, so should be good. My Warrior scouts his rifle, and I'm going to kill it, which is great, because then I can use that Warrior to scout to see if there is anything worth targeting there. Same time, just queuing up a bunch of defenses so I can seal off that northern side. And I do see his NCs there, and I'm waiting for something. I'll see a scout tank, and I'll say, you know what? Yeah, I'll poke at that. You know, take about 2/3 or about 1/3 of its health off. Get those Seekers out of there. Defense is probably coming, so those Seekers are gonna have to run anyway. So again, just kind of splitting his attention, and then transfer those Harvesters right about when they'll get there. The ref should be done. After that, yep, just gonna build that 2nd barracks since I can kind of place down my rear 3rd. Let's see if I can poke at this Harvester a little bit since it's going for the gems, but he drops a pillbox. So again, just took about like 1/5 of the health off, just being an annoying little person. It's super frustrating to deal with when you can constantly poke like that. Just getting up those queues again. Again, 30 of those each is quite a lot. Like that'll run for a good 10 minutes. So one thing nice about Combined Arms, you don't have to focus so much on the amount you're queuing. It's more just getting a good number and then focusing on other stuff. Where in RA, it's like you constantly have to go back to it. So I got 3 plasma turrets up the top there. That's probably more than enough. Drop an advanced power plant too, since I spent so much, and then instantly moving out again. Seekers try to go back into the top, but again, he's got some stuff there, so not much I can do about it. And it's just due to this nature of this map, I'm just kind of keeping my army in the middle, trying to poke on him on the bottom side. Nice benefit of the Seekers too is they got some high visibility, so they're really good scouts. Which helps him see that he's got an armor there. And lose 1 Seeker to it, but that's okay. Still poking at his scout tank and getting some decent damage there, but yeah, since I'm floating so much and I'm building another ref, I'm going to build a 3rd barracks before I go tier 3 here. And again, that's just going to help me shore up with even more mass than him. He's likely to be at a very minimum 2 barracks or 2 war factories right now, so equal production, but going for a 4th one is generally hit or miss when you want to do it. Getting scouting with that Seeker tank, seeing where his army is, trying to set up a good concave, but looks like he's also scouting me. Maybe he's got air out and he's scouting me that way too, but I can't see it yet, so just keep it here in the middle. I know that I got the tier 2 armor and he's still looking like he's on a tier 1, so tier 2 armies usually almost always beat a tier 1 army. Tier 3 army will usually beat a tier 3 army, and then a tier 4 army will usually beat a tier 3 army. That's just how it works. So there's some stuff you can do to mitigate that a little bit. Concaves definitely still important. Just proper unit ratios are really good too, but catches MCV deploying there, so that's nice. So I'm a full expansion ahead of him still, and now I'm going to be probably a full production ahead of him. Just keep an eye on him, getting all of those production queues going to the same area, and just try to push in a little bit here. Waiting for his army. Yep, he's screening me right there with his army, so I can draw it out maybe a little bit, catch a free scout tank there, which is nice. Maybe I can catch him on a bad angle, and then I see a bunch of infantry, not a bunch of tanks, so that's my cue to go in. And here we go. I've got a ton of gunwalkers. He's got a pretty bad concave, I think. All his armor's in one position. My gunwalkers are absolutely wrecking him. And he's got a lot more than I expected there, so I'm still pushing through since all of his armor's dead. And that's gonna be pretty rough for him. But all of my anti-infantry goes down, so I have to retreat. And yeah, I think he had just more mass there somehow. Maybe that's just because tier 1 has a little bit cheaper stuff. Mine's more expensive, but still feel like I traded out pretty well. Got tier 3 now. You're gonna get that Hardy Carapace in just a second. And I want to make sure that I pump out a few more Ravagers, since I have a ton of Intruders still. And those medics actually probably coming in clutch there, pulling up a bunch of those Intruders, so. Secret Tank, just again, go be annoying, see if I can poke out a Harvester, but he's got a pillbox there, so. Gonna retreat for now, no big deal. See a Rocket coming there, which is a good sign that he's running that way, and he is indeed. But I want to make sure I get a good concave here, so kind of falling back and then retreating in. And that medium tank instantly gets boiled down. So now all that infantry is pretty much free to run down. Those Ravagers, easily to run them down. Gunmarker's definitely going to run them down. Catch a free artillery piece, which is nice too. And I can see that he has a little bit of air up there. Now I'm up to another War Factory. Temporary low power, but that's okay. So yeah, catching his army moving across like that was really nice. That cleaned up a lot of his army, I feel like. And we're probably about even again. Except for I am tier 3, and I don't think he's tier 3. Not just yet. Moving out to expand once again, because I'm already starting to dry up on that single patch. And this extra production, now being up to 5, is definitely going to help me just quickly overwhelm him. You can see how many traders I have in the top there. It's just insane. Thought about transferring that Harvester down to the single patch, but realized, nah, it should just go all the way down. That single patch is going to get eaten up real quick. Then I want some Annihilator Tripods. Again, that's just for some more armor, since Gunwalkers are light armor, so I need some actual heavy armor. Gotta pause one of those queues since I'm starting to stall out, but I did get a lot of extra money out of it. Until I officially stall, which sucks, but good queue management, I think, is definitely a thing in Combined Arms. You can't just build ad infinitum like you can in ORA. Like, it does hurt if you are producing too much. And because I started stalling, I did stop that Harvester and just let it harvest from that field a little bit, get some more money. So Inno, with his longbows there, not doing too much against the Gunwalkers again. Going air is just, it's not a good choice, but set Harvester to the bottom field now that the ref's almost ready. I see that he started expanding down here, so I said, you know what, alright, I'll go in. I've got a huge army. Those pillboxes didn't last very long at all. And I'm looking for the MC, looking for a ref, and I don't see anything, so I'm thinking maybe he tried to run it down to the bottom. So I send one Gunwalker down there just in case that's where it is. If it is there, that's fine. I can just deal with that at my leisure. It's going to be kind of trapped. Can't really build there. I didn't see anything, so just decided to go in and top. And there's my Mastermind. It's instantly capping a tank. It's being super annoying. Yeah, he's stuck on a tier 1 army still. And those artillery are just not going to cut it. Even steal one with my Masterminds. Try to steal another one, but I think I lost vision, and then I'm going to cap his V, so down goes Inno 2-1, so we got minimum of one more game for match point, or I guess, yeah, next game is match point. So it's not looking good for him. His builds are not really effective against Skrin, so if I get Skrin again, he's probably in a lot of trouble, but we'll have to see when we get there. Alright, so we're back here for game 4. I spawned as, I believe it's the USA, and he is a faction that I won't tell you until I see it. But he picked Quarry, which is the map that I'm not a huge fan of. I just feel like it only results in super passive games. It's basically kind of like Marigold last time, but even worse. Because at least Marigold, it's a big map. It kind of expands like towards the south and the north, where Quarry is just you sit in the middle and do nothing. So I got an Allies faction. It's really fine. I feel okay playing Allies. They're not my favorite faction. They require so much support units, but they can kind of make up for it because their support units are super powerful. Raider, Jammer, just making your opponents less accurate. Gap Generator is super annoying in Combined Arms. It like actually hurts people's vision and like nerfs their firing radius. And then Cryo Launchers just slowing vehicles. Cryo Rocket Troopers slowing vehicles, and then the added damage you get from them. So they can be super annoying. Tanya, super annoying. And I hate playing against good Allies players, but luckily there's not a whole lot of Allies mains, so just stopping that engineer, just to make sure he doesn't get killed running in first, because I'm not sure if Anna's going to go down here. It's totally possible to go to that old Derek, but don't see anything. That's fine, so I'm just going to try to send Rifle Scott in. And I do see that rifle right there, and then I do hover over, so okay, he's a Nod faction. I'm expecting bikes, so best way to deal with bikes is just 3-place your pillboxes already. Just don't build a whole bunch of infantry after your second ref. But gonna get that ref down. I don't like the placement of the ref either, but it's alright. I'm doing the ref still anyways with the War Factory being built, so I can probably just sell that ref off. But not yet, just try to scout them, see if I can see those bikes coming, if they are gonna need come. Get some good micro on those harvesters, get that cash flowing a little bit quicker. But other than that, it's just it's gonna be a really passive game for me, not do anything. Take a peek at his oil derrick, see if he's got it. Yes, he did. Alright, cool. I'll kill it if I don't see any infantry. And then he starts shooting my infantry, so I pull back a little bit and then try to go back in. And he's only got a few rifles there. I tried to save that one rifle, but unfortunately grabbed the wrong one. So close to having good micro there, but it's alright. I lost one rifle, killed 2 of his rifles. Now I'll kill his oil derrick. Not much he can do about it. Wait till the Harv drops its load before I sell. Almost sell my ref there. That would have been bad. But I got lucky there. So I get a ranger out. See, he's got an airstrip already. So it doesn't tell me how much in there since I already have a War Factory. But I'm going to go and start placing those pillboxes. See if I can catch the bikes coming that way with that ranger. And that'd be really great. But likely they're going to come from the north since that's where it just makes more sense. Think a little bit quicker. The refs coming out. And I'm just working on my harvester, so I should have 4 refs out. Building up some more pillboxes since I got some extra cash. There we go. There's one bike. It tries to pull it away, but it comes back in, so I recharge it, kill it. Second bike barely gets out, but so that's fine by me. Send that ranger up there, see if I can catch him running the bike all the way back home. And yeah, just some poor building placement there. Kind of blocking my ref a little bit, but it's fine. Pillbox comes out and then instantly moving out that MCV. So not making the mistake I did in game 2, but it's just staying too long in my main base and running out of eco. Want to move to this north, secure these 2 patches first, and just kind of sit there. See that he hadn't captured that oil there, I kind of figured, you know what, might as well just try to go and cap it myself since he's probably not going to want it again. And just send this ranger out to, see if I can catch that bike somewhere along there if it's just chilling there. But go for another ref. Get that radar since I'm going to want those prison tanks and the second War Factory. I think the second War Factory, I almost always dedicate to just prisms as allies. They're a really good artillery unit for what they cost. Especially with all the different factions. Like against Scrin, you can build pretty much nothing but prisms and infantry and you'll be okay. But now that we're getting into the meat of the game, I'm going to get those infantry queues up. Got to get a few of those meter tanks pumping up and just start transferring these harvesters since they'll be right around there. I want to make sure that they're harvesting a little bit. And I don't want to over transfer my harvesters, that can hurt your eco too. Rangers, protecting the engineer as I go to that old derrick, don't see anything, so start skinning out some more rifle scouts, send more on the bottom just in case he's doing some more like bike harass or anything like that. Not a huge fan of rifle scouts, I've probably said that a number of times more in RA than I have in Combined Arms. They have their use, but they're very easy just to become an over-reliance on. You need a really dedicated scouting unit like Rangers. Which, there I saw his Apache play, so he's going air. That's okay. I got IFEs that I can get out of those Rangers out, but for now I'm a little bit vulnerable to him, which kind of sucks, but, there's only so much an Apache can do. He's going to get value out of it because they're really good, but I just have to hope that my macro is better. Radar comes out, so instantly comes the IFEs, and then he's doing a good job there, just picking off a few. Again, he didn't really get a whole lot there, just one rocket, maybe a few rifles. Pop an AA gun just in case he wants to dive in deep, and I can just kind of pop it under him. I'm thinking, hoping that it'll be like an RA where I can just kind of instantly kill something, but decided just to place that because I don't really want to build so much on hold and just have that other one in my pocket. Just kind of keep my stuff under there. Put a rocket in the IFE because that makes him so much better. I don't think minigunner IFEs are that important. Commando IFEs are good, but I think that's about it. I guess maybe engineer for the repair, but I feel like, again, that's more of team game stuff. In 1v1, all these little units have value that you're gonna eventually want. Thought about placing that AA gun down, but again, just don't really need it. It's more of a pocket thing, just in case it could be very aggressive with his Apaches. Unit ready. And after I get this second War Factory down, I'm going to try to go into tier 3. And there goes that bike. Still missed it somehow, so I'll just send a take to deal with it. He's not going to get too much value out of it, just poking at my harvesters a little bit. And I've got plenty of extra money since I'm floating 5k. There we go, just building a few prison tanks, a few medium tanks since I know I'm kind of light on armor. I'm pretty sure I have my first war factory just building nothing but prison tanks, but get that bike there, which is nice. Then I decided, you know, I should have 2 more of these rapid scouts since he killed my ranger. Would be maybe smart to go back into another ranger, but again, if he has Apaches out, then your scouts kind of are precarious. If I leave a ranger scout, I have to constantly keep moving, otherwise it can get easily sniped. Rifle scouts are a lot cheaper in that regard, so if I do lose one, then I'll just be careful about it. Place that ref down. I want to make sure I placed it away from there so it could go up there. And there he goes. He goes in with his Apaches, but really don't think he got the value he wanted out of them. 2 Apaches go down, and that wasn't even with my IFVs, so I know he's expended a lot of money into that, but it gives me a little bit more confidence to boost out, especially with 2 of the Apaches down. Finally dropped that other AA gun. That'll just kind of save my infantry rally path. So if he wants to go in there, he's going to have to deal with that AA gun. Then I see that he is indeed up in that top corner, so he has probably expanded the wrong way, or at least what I consider the wrong way in this map, so Rapid Scout doing its job. I'm going to pull my entire army over. Leave the IFEs in the back just in case, because that's where his Apaches are likely to be, but you know, if he attacks here, it should be alright. Drop some pillboxes as well, just to really shore up things, but get that army over, and then I realized, you know, I don't really want a whole army here. I'm probably going to want like half of it, so as soon as I fix my power and start building that Tanya, I'm going to take a large part of this army and just pull it back, especially after I see that he's really not there. Yeah, especially after I see that he's up there with that laser. It's like, okay, he's not attacking there. Just gonna leave another rifle, just pull my army back. If he wants to dive deep, he's really not gonna get a lot of value. With that, I'm just gonna move to the center, because again, I can just move straight to the center and crawl to that single patch on my bottom and crawl to his natural middle. And so just controlling the middle on this map, really important. Now that I got tier 3 out, I'll get Tanya. I can start getting those whole bunch of gap gens, these chrono tanks, which are also super good, or heavy armor, fire launchers, radar jammers, that type of stuff. You want all of it as allies. The only thing I gotta watch out for is those Apaches just coming in and sniping Tanya. That'd be pretty annoying, but just build advanced power plant, give me more power since I'm gonna need it. Get that ore purifier, maybe Allied HQ, maybe get some chronosphere action going in if this game goes there. Which technically on this map it can definitely go that long, but just focusing on my harvesters since they're just kind of looks mining and being annoying. Not sure what my prison shot, but it shot something which is nice. See, he's got his tanks over there, so pull those IFVs back and just kind of screen him. Fortunately for him, I hear his Apaches waste their ammo on a accidental control fire, which is not great. But that kind of cues me to go in because I know his Apaches are going to go back to refill. And I've got my mobile gap coming too, so it's going to be a nice little advantage. Gotta halt those harvesters. Finally starting to stall since I'm pretty much out of eco on all my mines. That's alright, so we're finally getting engaged here. I feel like I finally got it. He has a little engagement here, but I'm just gonna pull that medium tank back. IFEs are in the front, and there goes all of his Apaches. He does get Tanya, which is nice for him, but you know, I've got a good position here. His little flank right there is not working. And that gap generator just being super annoying. And yeah, he's folding pretty hard right now. Just don't think he had a good setup. See the commando and finally figure out where he's at, kill him with prism cannons, and that's pretty much his last hope. So it's not looking good there. Inferno bomb comes in and I try to split my army, but I think all I did was move most of my infantry back into it. So that was brutal, absolutely brutal Inferno bomb there. But you know, I'm gonna kill his Temple of Nod. He's got Banshees out, which again, not super good in this situation. Kill his Hand of Nod, and he goes and calls it GG. So yeah, that's it. Inno goes down 3-1. I think he was definitely a little bit rusty, so I got lucky with that, but it's nice to be on the other end of that for once. Usually I'm the rusty player who gets swept by an Nano or something like that, but yeah, I was you know, happy with that. Beating Inno, finally going to the finals for Combined Arms. It was definitely a nice thing, but that's it for this week, and I'll see y'all next time.